Welcome to Overexposed. I'm Chandler.
And I'm Nathan. Glad to be back. It's been a while. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about
We
today.
do.
The main focus of the topic will be what everybody in the film world is talking about, which is the New York Times 100 Films of the 21st Century.
We're finally giving our opinions. I know people have been asking, so
Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
we'll see what we think about the list. See what they
I
do.
certainly we've already looked at it and we've comprised 10 of our picks what we put on there. I'd say we both were a little underwhelmed with it, or kind of exactly what we
Yep.
expected.
Yeah. We'll get into it. We'll get into
Perfect.
it.
All right. Well, we'll start off with how we always start off with
Awesome.
recent watches. We've got a few we both recently watched.
We do. Let's save those for last. You think? As
Sure.
we usually do.
Sure. You start us off
All
then.
right. So I've seen a lot recently. We've had a bit of a hiatus. So I'm not going to go through everything I've seen. I'm pretty much just going to go through things I have a take on.
Yeah,
Really,
perfect.
one I'd like to mention super quick, because I don't have much of a take on it besides it's fantastic. Is Clueless, the 1995 Amy Heckerling film. All I got to say about it is it's super funny, amazing cast, great performances all around. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah, that's one I really want
Yeah,
to see.
just wanted to mention that. But the first one I'll get into the meat of is L'Argent, if I'm saying that
Ah, yes.
correctly, the Robert
We
Bresson film. It directly translates to Money.
money.
It is his final film, came out in 1983. So he kind of had a career that spanned a lot of decades. Because if you think about his big movies in the 50s, like A Man Escaped, Pickpocket, he has quite a few in the 70s, The Devil All the Time.
Mm-hmm.
60s, he has Alazar Balthazar. I think Diary of a Country Priest is 50s, but I think this is his only 80s movie. Um,
Interesting.
I love Bresson. I think he
We
is.
we've
Sorry?
together. I've only seen A Man
We've seen A
Escaped.
Man Escaped.
Yeah, I think that might be the only thing I've seen by him. I'd love to
So
see Pickpocket.
I've seen Pickpocket and Alhazard Balthazar.
Okay.
So I've seen four of his films, and I absolutely love him from what I've seen so far. I find him so idiosyncratic, but he's not flashy at all. I've read this thing about he believes the medium of cinema should not emulate the medium of like theater or so, and kind of his idea with that is his camera never moves. So like an example of that would be like a character's opening a door. Typically you would show the character walking through the door.
Right, from both
Bresson
sides.
would frame the camera on the door handle, keep it completely stationary, show a hand opening the door,
And then
and
the
someone
body.
go in, and the
Yeah.
camera never moves. And he has so many shots like that that are just wonderful. And the thing I find with him is you can kind of like sense the confidence in his directing. Like you can just tell it's going to be an extremely well made film because he's not a
Mm-hmm.
flashy filmmaker. His movies are very stripped down. Like I said, he's not big on performances, so he always has unknowns in his movie. In his movies, the performances are not heightened. He did the thing some directors do. I don't think this is unique to him, where he does like a million takes and uses the final few ones because it like gets the performance out of the actor's system.
Interesting.
Like
Yeah.
when they're worn down, the idea is they give a more naturalistic performance. Um, but it's hard to describe. Like you just feel such confidence when you're watching one of his films. Like that it's you
He's
can.
like very assured in like everything he
Yes,
does.
yes, extremely assured, and you can just tell it's so well made. And like I just find him so interesting because I do think he's so idiosyncratic, but he's not like flashy.
Mm-hmm.
Like other directors you would think of that term would have a lot of style and a lot of pizzazz, but like his style is completely stripped down, and I don't know, it just gives this quality of you're in for a really good ride.
I like that. That's yeah. You're that's a great take. Makes me wanna watch
Oh,
more
it's
Brazon.
fantastic. L'Argent is probably not my favorite I've seen of his, but it's really good. It's just fantastic. And I'll say a little bit about the plot. It starts out with these kids get a hold of a counterfeit $500 bill, and you see it pass hands between all these people that see it for what it is and have kind of nefarious intentions for it.
Yeah, yeah. How are they gonna
And
pay?
then it finally lands in the hands of a true innocent who does not see it for what it is, and it completely ruins his life. And it's
Ah,
kind of about that. It's a lot about capitalism.
right.
It's kind of a dark movie. It is really sad
Mm-hmm.
because things just don't go right for this guy, and he's done nothing wrong.
Does he have any positive? Like, I can't think of a single movie of his where I'm like, oh, I'm sure that's a feel
No,
good.
no,
Yeah,
his movies are kind of depressing,
yeah.
but that's the thing is like they're not like I wasn't bummed out like the movie literally ends. I'll say
It's
it.
like harsh
The,
truths.
the movie, the final scene of the movie is him going to the execution chamber, and it all
Yeah.
starts with him working an honest job and getting a counterfeit bill, and that's how the
Interesting.
movie ends. But like, he's such a good director, and like that confidence, and that style I was talking about. Like, I didn't leave the movie depressed. I was like, oh, that's a really deep,
You're moved
thoughtful.
though.
I was moved.
Okay.
I'll mention one other scene that I thought is brilliant in the movie is the character's in prison and the camera is completely across the mess hall from him and he's the only one sitting down and then probably about 100 other people come in and so the frame is just chaos, everybody's sitting down and then when everyone takes their place he's still
The
directly
center.
centered and you
Yeah.
can see his head and it's such a brilliant shot and like it's
Wow.
so typical of kind of the
Brisson.
things he likes to put in his movies. Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
mhm.
Yeah, I'll have to watch some of his. Yeah, that's great. Wow, you really sold me on that. Sold me on Brisson as a director.
Yes, certainly.
I'll try and follow up after that. Let's see. I watched Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yes.
Sergio Leone. On a recent episode, I talked about Once Upon a Time in America. This is one of Bobbitt's like favorite movies. Well,
it ranks very highly for me. Yes, and I would probably, and I don't think you'll agree with this, but I'd put it over Once Upon a Time in America.
see, I don't know if I would. I said that to you because everybody's like, "This is his masterpiece," and I love everything I've seen by Sergio Leone. I love Duck Your Sucker. I love the Dollars trilogy.
He has 7 movies,
I hadn't seen this one in a long time, and I will add an asterisk to this because when I watched the first half of this film, it was like so late, and I was like really tired. And I think if I went back and rewatched it, I would be like much more like compelled to be like, "Wow, this is." I mean, it is great. It's fantastic. He's a brilliant director. I really do like everything about his style. Long, drawn out scenes, like a lot of acting in the face, if that makes sense.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like focus on the face.
I mean, it's very light on dialogue in general,
right?
Especially the first.
But it's not boring. 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, that's another director that you feel the confidence behind the camera.
Absolutely.
And you like.
Ennio Morricone and Sergio Leone go together.
The score is the score does a lot of heavy lifting too.
And I wonder what you'd say about this. I think Once Upon a Time in America is the best score of any.
I would maybe agree, and I will say this too: the more we talk about Once Upon a Time in America, the more it's kind of edging closer to Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah, it's a movie that I watched and I was like, yeah, it was really good. I give it like 4.5 out of 5, and then I keep thinking.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Here. Then the more we discuss it, I'm kind of like, it is pretty awesome.
But there are scenes Once Upon a Time in the West that you'll keep thinking about too, like you say the cold entrance where it's like 20 minutes of silence. I love the ending shot too, where it spans out and like the town has been created. What were we talking about recently? Oh, this is what it was. Criterion Channel recently released a what would you call it? A catalog of films all based around pools. And I said to you, Once Upon a Time in the West is curation. Once Upon a Time in the West is a movie based all around trains.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, which I really liked. Because when you start it, sorry, I just want to add this. When you start the film, I literally, because I went in blind, I hadn't seen it in a really long time. It's almost like vignettes, where I was like, oh, these are vignettes around like different parts of the train. And then they sort of slowly culminate together.
Right.
And I wish directors did that more often now, where it's like you're left blind and you have to buy in.
That's that confidence I'm talking about with Leone is like, you're watching the beginning and it's so slow, but you're not, it's captivating. You never think like this isn't going to go anywhere. This is not going to pay off. It'll pay off.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that last time on Long Good Friday. Long Good Friday is the same way, where it's like you start and you're like, "What the hell am I watching?"
Right.
And you just have to buy in for like the first like 20 minutes,
and it's worth
until Bob Hoskins hits the screen, and then you understand what everything's
happening. And then once you buy in, it pays off.
Exactly.
I will say 2 favorite things about Once Upon a Time in the West. Henry Fonda's performance is so awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
I've seen that akin to because at the time he's this big family man. He's in all these. Maybe not lighthearted movies, but he always plays the good guy.
He always is a good. Yeah, that's right.
I've seen that equated to essentially if Tom Hanks was in a film today where he just ruthlessly murders people.
Right.
It was like a comparison. Yeah. And then I'm absolutely obsessed with the final shootout of Once Upon a Time in the West, where it does the flashback.
Yeah, harmonica.
Fonda. Yes, it shows the origins of the harmonica.
Harmonica.
I think that the kind of the panning shot where it zooms out and you see the entire situation, and it's just kind of that little. Arch, just brilliant.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it really is. I mean, Sergio Leone, gone too soon. Well, I don't know. He was probably pretty old at the time, but it's sad that he really has. I mean, I think he directed 7.
I think it's 7
movies. But his first film, no one really talks about.
Right. And I think he co-directed the first.
Exactly. Movie. Yeah. Or maybe he didn't write it or something. But yeah. All right. Well, that's all. I mean, Once Upon a Time in the West. Obviously, you should see if you like westerns.
It's quintessential.
Yeah. I mean, people say it's like the anti-Western though, right? When you
I
say
mean,
that,
it's a spaghetti western,
it's a spaghetti
so
Western.
I
Yeah,
think those are kind of inherently a little
yeah, I agree. So
anti-western.
I agree.
But I think it's but yeah, watch
Hmm.
it if you're into that.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I'll go to my next film, and that is Evil Dead Rise, the newest entry in the Evil Dead series. A nasty little flick, very very nasty.
And to preface, we both, I mean, we saw Evil Dead 2 in
Oh,
theaters
I
together.
love Evil Dead. I
Yeah.
love the Evil
Yeah,
Dead
they're good.
series.
They're fun.
And I liked Evil Dead Rise.
Shot in
Like I said,
Tennessee,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, they are. I like Evil Dead Rise a good amount. Like I said, it's very nasty. It amps up the gore as you would expect to a
Of course.
continuation of the
Yeah.
series to wonderful levels. And I guess a little bit. So kind of the element that I like the most about it, and I also dislike the most about it, is the plot revolves around, they're in an apartment building. Someone opens up the Book of Dead, these kids, and their mom is the one that's infected. So it's kind of this really freaky idea where
I like
where
that.
the
Yeah.
kids are like, the kids are literally
Mom's
like,
gonna kill the
they're like,
kids.
what's going on with mom? And she's like, I want your head, sweetie. And she's like, trying to kill them. And the kids are like, what the hell is going on with mom?
Yeah, that's a
So
good. I like that.
in one hand, it's like, that's a good setup, but it's also like disturbing because it's like the kids, like the little kids reacting to their mom trying to kill them is like, it's dark. But here's the thing that I think a little bit is lost in translation is, so that's, and that premise I would say falls in line with the rest of the series. But Evil Dead Rise is not, it doesn't have the comedic elements
Oh,
of the previous
really?
films. No,
Oh, what
I
the
mean,
hell?
it's just not played up.
Did you see Drag Me to Hell?
No, I did
Because
not.
isn't that kind of that's kind of in the
That's also
same
Randy.
vein?
That's Randy
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna
Yeah.
say. I don't know
Um,
if that's as comedic either.
no,
Yeah,
but that's not an Evil Dead film. That's just Sam
but
Raimi.
yeah, okay, I
Right.
guess
But
so.
Sam Raimi did
You
not.
think it's gonna be like campy
Right.
gore
But
fun?
so my take is like, it makes the movie a little bit darker in a way that the rest of the series, besides the first one is pretty serious,
Yeah, the
and the
first
first one's
one's
really
not.
dark.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think those elements, and without the kind of
Lightheartedness,
the lightheartedness, the comic
the
relief
schlock.
does make it kind of a dark film. And it's like, I think the great thing about the original trilogy is the comedic aspects of it make them so funny, and like anybody can enjoy them. Where I
Mm-hmm.
think Evil Dead Rise is really going to only be enjoyed by like hardcore horror fans who appreciate the extreme level of gore. But the
Gotcha.
comedy isn't there, so I feel like it loses
Huh.
its charm a little bit, and it's just kind of a nasty. It's well made.
A nasty little flick.
It
I
is a
like that.
nasty little flick. That's the best way I can describe it. It made me go like,
Ugh,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Even at the end, like not even just, that's what I'm saying, is not even just the gore elements. Like that whole idea of the mom like trying to kill her kids because she's like, it is scary. It is a
Good.
legitimately scary movie.
That's nice. I like movies that
Yeah.
actually
So
scare me.
I did like it a fair amount. I would just say that is my biggest
You
takeaway.
you almost wish it was like not listed as Evil Dead, although it does have the book and
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, but then the more I talk about it, I'm like, maybe it doesn't need the comic elements because it is really scary, and so
That's good.
maybe it's just a little truer to the original versus two and
And
Army of
Army of
Darkness. And
Darkness, yeah.
I think I haven't seen much of the show, but I think that has more of a comedic tone to it as well because it's Bruce
Gotcha.
Campbell in the
Yeah, what
show
is
as
that called? Like
well.
Ash versus Evil
Ash
Dead?
vs Evil Dead,
Mm,
yeah. And
okay.
I've not seen the remake either, so
Hmm.
I don't really know the tone of that.
Interesting. All right. Well, you said that's a dark film. Luckily, my next one's really lighthearted. It's The House That Jack Built
Yes,
by
yes.
Lars von Trier. You're saying all that stuff about the kids, and I was like, man, you got to watch this movie. Like it is, it's hilarious that Lars von Trier, he had that whole debacle with Cannes, and this is what he returns to Cannes with because it is like truly like kind of a fuck you. Like it is like,
Right. Oh,
but it's
for
also
sure.
like, I mean, it is also a harsh criticism of himself in a lot of ways. Sorry, I took a ton of notes on the airplane. One of the reasons we were on hiatus was I went to San Francisco to visit some friends. One thing I wanted to bring up earlier, I can just bring up podcast. It's kind of cool. It's about film. That girl I was with Chelsea and Blake. We were driving in a Waymo. You ever been on one of those like the?
Oh,
But anyways,
the driverless car.
she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, like you like movies. There's a ton of cool like movies were filmed around here. Like even
Oh, yeah,
Zodiac. I didn't know it was
ton.
around there." But she
Dirty
pointed
Harry.
right when she said that. She pointed. She was like, "That's where the conversation happened."
Oh,
Like you
hell
know what I'm
yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
And I was
of
like,
course.
"No way!"
Of course,
I
that's
just
where
watched
the
it.
titular conversation.
Yeah,
happens.
I was like,
Yeah.
"That's so cool."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
There's a ton of good San Francisco movies.
yeah,
Just like an
really, really
embarrassment.
good.
Yeah.
All right, back to House Jack Built. I'm a huge Lars von Trier
Not a
fan.
San Francisco movie.
Not a San
Wait,
Francisco
where does
movie.
it take place?
Not it takes the idea is it's in Washington, but I heard something where I don't think he's ever stepped foot in America. I think all of his
Really?
films
I can
take
see that.
yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So I think they filmed in Sweden. Von Trier, people love him or hate him. This is probably his most divisive movie. This or like Antichrist or
I
Nymphomaniac.
would say probably Antichrist, right?
Yeah.
Because I think
I mean,
House
this
of
is
Jackboot's
up
well
there,
liked,
but
right?
it's also hated.
Yeah.
If you look at Letterboxd, it's like 5 star, 1 star, 1 star, 4.5 star, 5 star. Like it's like so all over the map. I really liked it. I'm a fanboy of his. Like it's so funny. One of the top reviews was like apologetically being like, "I'm sorry to say, like I really like this movie."
Yeah, that's funny.
But it could be seen as like edgelordy, pretentious. I mean, there are even there's points where I'm kind of like, oh boy. So essentially, it's about Matt Dillon. He is an OCD, sort of bizarre, ego maniac, narcissistic serial killer, and he's going through the incidents where he's killed people, and in between is spliced where he's like it's very artistic. Like Lars von Trier is a guy who breaks the mold, like
Right.
kind of what you're talking about with Bresson, but in the exact opposite way.
Right. Oh yeah.
Where he like there's shots that is literally just art on the screen, like you know
That's
what I mean.
funny. That is
And
the opposite
it's
of
like
like
Matt Dillon
Bresson. Yeah.
talking about how his killings are like works of art.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's but then he's talking to Bruno Gans, who plays
Oh yeah.
Virgil. He's like, call me Virgil.
Love
So
Bruno
there's a
Gans.
huge connection to Dante's Inferno. Because that's the idea in Dante's
Okay.
Inferno is he's
Right.
walking through hell with Virgil as his guide. It's great. I mean, it's classic. It's classic Von
Let's
Trier.
give some quick love to Bruno
Bruno
Gans,
Gans,
man.
man, so
God,
good.
one of my favorite
This is like one of the
European
last
actors.
films he
Oh yeah,
made before
certainly.
he
Because
died.
that was
Which is, if you
pretty
see
recently.
it, like Bruno Gans has to like do some shit in this movie.
Really?
Like he's like
That's
underwater
awesome.
and shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Which I thought was really
His
cool.
performance in the American Film, just got a shout out. Is just
It's so good too. I mean, it is. People are gonna roll. It's pretentious, but it is so good because like the idea is Matt Dillon, is like explaining to Virgil like why he thinks like what he's doing is like an act of God, and then Virgil is like the opposite side, being like you're full of like you're so egocentric, you don't see like the beauty. But there's some great like, I mean, Von Trier is pretentious, but he has the writing capabilities to really back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I have a quick question about Bruno Gans. Obviously, his merits speak for himself, but do you think that's a bit of metacasting because of Wings of Desire?
I wondered that myself. I don't know. It could just be that
he's just a fantastic.
I was going to say it also could just be that
fantastic.
like Von Trier is a fan of his, or like I said,
I'm sure he is.
when we talked about Dancing in the Dark, Catherine Deneuve wrote to him. I wonder if Bruno Gans was like, "Hey, I want to work with you."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But you know what I mean. I think he plays an angel in one.
He does, which Wings of Desire is like one of my favorite movies.
I mean, Bruno Gans is a legend.
Yeah, he's great. But that's the other thing is, and this is why other people also hate it. You almost think like Lars von Trier is treating Jack as himself, and I think he said that. I think he was like, "This is the character I relate to most." Yeah, exactly. And it is like he's in on the joke that he's kind of full of shit and he's OCD. There's just so many. Each of the killings, each of the incidents, is what they call them. They vary kind of differently, and it's great to see like Jack's character sort of like lose his OCD compulsion and almost like want to get caught and like doing these insane stunts.
Which is a real thing with like criminals, I think.
But like you said, you were talking about a mom wanting to kill his kids. Like there are some scenes in this movie that make.
I'm sure.
Oh my god.
I'm sure. But yeah. No,
but it's so, what? Unlike Evil Dead Rising, this movie is so funny. Like it is truly hilarious.
I was just gonna say, I would expect that watching that movie. It's like
But that's what I mean. That's why I think it's kind of funny because it's like you're watching the most gruesome things you've ever seen, the most misogynistic, horrible treatment, but it's like so funny.
Yeah.
And Matt Dillon said that. I saw an interview with Matt Dillon where he was like, I was scared to watch this film at the premiere, and he's like, I found myself like smiling cheek to cheek. He's like, I ended up really liking it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's great.
If you're done with that, I'm gonna do a quick.
Let me see. Sorry, I have so many notes. I wrote all these notes on an airplane.
This is
your
about
head
the movie.
is.
I just wanted to do a quick plug of my collection. Nathan, I've not seen this film yet, but Nathan watched it on a Blu-ray of mine
that I borrowed from you.
That is one of the coolest Blu-rays I think I have in my collection because I bought it at a time when I don't believe the unrated version was anywhere available in the U.S. And I bought it from this very small regional distributor called Potemkine in Paris, and it's a completely French Blu-ray with no English subtitles, nothing. This company does not ship outside of France, so I just think that's kind of a unique item to
Yeah.
have. Like there, I would imagine there might not even be another copy of that in the U.S.
The
It's
Potemkine.
the
Yeah. So
Potemkine
is
version of.
that name from Battleship Potemkin?
Yes, it's a
That's what I
play.
thought. Okay.
I think it's like a
Um,
play on the word of like kine is
so you know
like
how when you
cinema.
start a Blu-ray, like the Criterion is like the
Yeah,
C and the Era Video.
theirs is the
This is the
K.
coolest one.
Yeah.
This is like
Uh,
the graphic design of it's really
I
cool.
have a copy of their version of Altman's The Long Goodbye as well. And I they don't ship internationally and they don't even have English subtitles, so I'd have to imagine they're one of the few, if not only, copies in
Hmm.
America of those films for Potemkine.
Right.
Certainly,
Um, Something back to this
just a
film.
nerd plug.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I think I'm glad you mentioned that. It was really cool. Something else about this film I really like is like the irony in it because
Yeah.
like Jack will go on these like rants about like hunting and like how he's like hunting is like for sport now. It's kind of like a shame. Like it's not like something
Hmm.
that's necessary. Or he'll talk about like how like nobody's gonna help you in this city. Like why don't people help anybody? And it's like, but you're like the thing that is like causing all the
Right.
misery. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's great. And there's another. This is the pretentiousness of it. I almost didn't want to bring this up because it's kind of like core to the movie. I love the way Lars von Trier uses it's like an animate. It's like a sketch he does where it's a character walking in between light posts, and then Jack has this whole dialogue about like how your shadow when you're underneath the light is like whole, you know, like it's like
Hmm.
right underneath you. But then the farther you get, you'll have the longer your shadow is in front of you and behind you. And he talks about how like that's the joy when he's like when he kills, he's underneath the light, and as he walks, in front of him is the joy, and it lengthens, and then slowly behind him the shadow lengthens, and that's like the misery to where he
That's
has to kill you.
awesome.
Like it's like
Yeah.
that's like how pretend, but it's like it's so well done.
No, I'm
And there's
sure. Yeah.
here's another thing that's convinced about it. He talks about God, I don't want to ruin everything, but he talks about like the idea of beauty and death and like art, and he uses like wine. He's like grapes rot. He's like there's a thing called the noble rot, and that makes some of the best wine. And he's like there should be like more beauty and death. Like he's like I hate that people are scared of dying, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some great
No, it's an
it's some
interesting.
great stuff.
It's pretentious, but it's a
It's
good.
you
It's a
should
good.
really
I
watch
know.
it
I
soon.
have to watch it.
Yeah, I would say,
Um,
like I said, if you like Von Trier, you're gonna love it. If you can handle obscenely graphic shots, but also laugh about it, you'll like it. And if you got your head up your ass like I do, you'll
you'll really
really
like it. Yeah,
like it.
certainly.
Yeah, yeah. Matt Dillon also is like perfect in it. Matt Dillon is like the perfect character. And there's like bad acting,
Yeah.
but it's like on purpose. Does
Right.
that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
and then this is the other thing I wanted to bring up because you brought up Hassan, how he has a million shots. I heard there's a really particularly horrible long scene between Matt Dillon and Riley Keough, his girlfriend. And Matt Dillon said he was like really nervous about shooting it and was like, "Hey, can we at least like go over like can we do like a rehearsal of it?" And Lars von Trier was like, "Yeah, we can do a rehearsal of it." He's like, "But why don't we do it? Why don't we film it first and then we'll do a rehearsal and like we'll film that one too." But of course, like
Right.
he just wanted him to be like, "I want you to play it." Like he
Yeah.
probably used the first take, if
Right.
that makes
Right.
sense. He
So
like
that's like the exact opposite of what.
yeah,
Or so,
exactly.
it sounds like
Exactly.
an opposite film
Yeah,
in
yeah, right.
every imaginable way.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. Well, I wonder if you'll like it. You should watch it
yeah, I
soon.
know. I need to. I bet I will.
Okay. All right. Next up for you, what you got?
All right. I'm gonna wrap up my recently watched. I'm just gonna rapid fire through a few of these.
Yeah, yeah, please do.
Watched Paul Verhoeven's Showgirls for the first time.
Which I really want to see.
Actually, not the first time. I've seen it on Showtime way back in the day. I thought it was a porno.
Yeah, you're like, oh, boobs.
But it's really not that. Yes, there's a lot of obviously breasts. It's about strippers. It has this reputation as such a horrible movie, which I feel like is changing a lot these days. People
it's a
don't think
cult
it's
film.
terrible
Yeah.
anymore. It's not terrible, but I didn't love it. It's just okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Because
okay.
I love, I mean, Starship Troopers and RoboCop. I think are like
It's for sure.
Total
Yes.
Recall too,
Total
right?
Recall,
Yeah.
Basic Instinct. I love Verhoeven. He's a
Mhm.
wonderful director. But Showgirls, it's pretty ambitious. It's very long. It's kind of this big story of rise and fall. Yeah, I just don't know if it warrants.
Check, make sure your mic's on. I just wanted to.
Yeah, it has a green
Okay,
light.
perfect. All right.
I don't know if it warrants the runtime. Maybe I really.
How long is it?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Ah,
and I really tried to respect the runtime and be like, this is going to be an epic tale, but just didn't grab me. Gina Gershon fucking rules in it.
Really?
Amazing performance. Yeah, she's kind of like the older, established kind of club dancer that the young protagonist is trying to take over for. And I don't know if you're familiar with her, but it's a wonderful performance.
Yeah, I
She's
know who she
awesome.
is. Yeah.
And then Kyle MacLachlan is really funny in it too. He's playing just like the biggest scumbag.
But it's hard to
I know, but
see.
it's so good.
He's good at it. Okay.
He's like the talent manager or something for one of these casinos. So essentially, he just sleeps with all the women to put them in the show, and he like drives like a red Corvette convertible and stuff. And it is really funny to see him in that mode,
Yeah.
especially in the '90s. Like, that's only a few years after Twin Peaks, so it's such a shift to go from Agent Cooper to that. But yeah, that's all I'll say on that. Another one I watched, Coogan's Bluff, Clint Eastwood '60s. I love Clint Eastwood curios because he has such a type. He does westerns, he does cop movies. So I love the kind of weird ones. And this is a weird one because, and I won't take credit for this idea, but a Letterboxd review I said is it's the one that kind of bridges the gap between his westerns and his cop movies. And it's Clint Eastwood in New York City, maybe the only film he's ever in New York City, which is kind of interesting. Didn't love it. It's a '60s movie, so it's really slow. Not that much happens, but is an interesting curio. And then the final one I'll talk about really quickly is the Hudsucker Proxy, Coen Brothers. Did not like it that much.
So you've seen almost all of their
I've
films.
seen almost all their films. And Hudsucker Proxy, I knew the premise. I knew it's Tim Robbins.
It's the forgettable one, I would argue.
It is very forgettable. And because it disappointed me because I know Paul Newman is in it, so I think, oh, Paul Newman in a Coen Brothers movie, like that's a slam dunk.
Sign me up.
And then he plays just this very one-dimensional cartoon villain, and it feels like such a waste of Paul Newman in a Coen Brothers movie just to play this. I mean, he's good, but it's a cartoon performance. And then Tim Robbins plays this just bumbling oaf, and he is the protagonist, but like, if you're playing a bumbling idiot, I think in a film, you have to have some sort of charisma to get the audience on your side.
But I feel like Tim Robbins could play a good bumbling oaf.
I just don't like him that much in the movie. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's like you see people like, and you might not like this example, you see people like Jim Carrey play roles like that, and you're on their side. You're like, oh, okay, like, I like this guy. But like Tim Robbins in the movie, you're like, yeah, this guy is an idiot. Like, I don't give a shit what happens to him. And
that's funny.
It's way more of a straightforward comedy than I expected, which is not a bad thing. Coen Brothers, I'd say it's closer in tone to like Raising Arizona.
Oh, Serious Man?
Serious Man is just a dramedy, I would say.
But I was gonna say character. It's been a while since I've seen it, but isn't he kind of like that character of kind of been like
he's dumb? More Nevishy, I would say. He's not an idiot, and he's not bumbling. He's just kind of like lost up, like he's
pragmatic.
He's overwhelmed with what's going on in his life, but he's certainly not like a bumbling fool or anything.
Gotcha.
I was going to say it's closer in tone to Raising Arizona and Oh Brother Where Art Thou, but those two movies are led by Nicolas Cage and George Clooney, who, and I don't think they're quite as bumbling oafish in those films, but they're also extremely charismatic, and I just don't know if I find Tim Robbins. I don't know if he gives me that reaction. Jennifer Jason Leigh is great in it. It is a funny movie. Reminds me a lot of Sweet Smell of Success. I'd imagine that's a huge influence on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I really like that film.
Oh, I love Sweet Smell of Success, but it's no. So
can I add a really quick note?
Yeah, please.
This is so out of. I just saw I written this down. I totally forgot to mention it. And Once Upon a Time in the West, it might be the beginning. The fly scene, like the idea of the fly. You remember that when it's all over his face? How do you think they did that?
I have no idea.
That blew my mind. Yeah, because it's a real fly.
Right.
Like it's like
they probably put something on his face and just like maybe,
let him walk.
Yeah, filmed it for hours.
Sorry, I was really impressed by that. I remember that.
Do you have any more? Or are you ready to get into our common watches?
Yeah, let's get into the common watches. Which do you want to go with first?
Let's do Sexy Beast. That's the first one we watched.
Okay.
Or no.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Mama Tambien.
No, let's do Sexy Beast first. All right. I love this movie. Sexy Beast is
Jonathan Glazer.
Fucking awesome. I mean, yeah. Jonathan Glazer. I've seen all of his films. Yeah, I guess that's but he's not.
Have you seen Birth?
Yeah, I saw Birth in theaters.
Zone of Interest.
Yeah, I saw Zone of Interest.
Okay.
I think he's one of the best working directors today,
and
I don't think that's controversial. I think anybody who's seen his films would say that.
I mean, it's like Leone. He's only made a handful of films, but
right. I hope he keeps going.
Idiosyncratic, very much. They're very stylized.
I've even seen his Radiohead because that's how it started.
That's how it started. Yeah,
Radiohead
he's a video guy.
Yeah. It's so good, man. And it might be my favorite directorial debut.
It is. Talk about a confidently directed film.
It's
The
fucking
camera
incredible.
moves the opposite of Rasan again. The
Yeah.
camera moves constantly and never in the ways you think
Hmm.
about. The one scene I always think about in terms of this is there's a scene where Ian McShane is driving his Porsche, and it's the camera is kind of looking in through the passenger window,
Hmm.
and he opens the door and the camera moves with the door opening, and I was like,
Yeah.
I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah,
You
it's
expect
cool.
it to just open the door. It's
Uh,
stuff like that. It's
Also, the
just
music
wonderful.
is the opening song where he's like, what does he say? He's like strolling through the beaches, looking at the peaches,
Yeah.
like talking about the
Oh, it's
girls.
great. It's
He's like,
groovy.
I'm for women's liberation, baby. Like, if you listen
Yeah.
to the lyrics song, it's fucking hilarious.
And
And then the use of Luhan, the Henry Mancini
yeah.
song, when he kind of like the overview of his life is like, I was like, he had to be inspired by Big Lebowski.
Oh, for
There's so
sure.
many things where I'm like,
For
it's
sure.
just like,
I mean, it's
the whole concept of like the boulder almost hitting him in the head is like the idea of like the rug and Big
right,
Lebowski. You know what I
right.
mean? It's like the catalyst.
No, it's not a MacGuffin
It's a
because it doesn't.
catalyst. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
the
call
catalyst is better.
it. Hmm.
Better way to describe it. But I think we also have to address probably the most famous element, or well, of Sexy Beast, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley,
Ben
man.
Kingsley just
Let
lights up
him
the
cook.
screen.
Yeah, like let him
Yes.
cook, man. He is so good. It might be his best performance.
It really is something.
And that's what I mean is like what you're talking about. I guess Ian McShane and
Ian
what's the
McShane
main
doesn't
guy's
get as
name?
much to do.
Ray
Ray
Winstone. Ray
Winstone's
Winstone.
fantastic too.
Yeah,
But
but
he's
it's the same thing as when I talk about Heart 8, where it's like, how did Glazer get these guys, man? Because it's like it was like written for them.
Ben Kingsley will work. I think you can get him in a movie for money.
Yeah, but Ray Winstone is also like perfect.
Yeah. Oh, Ray Winstone's fantastic. He's
Yeah.
just Kingsley is the color of the film, and
Yes,
you
absolutely.
watch it, and that performance like immediately skyrockets the list of like greatest villain performances.
Oh
He's
yeah, he's so
so
good.
funny,
He's really funny.
and
Yeah,
he.
he's such an ass
I
too.
know, and
Like he's like trying to get somebody to fight him.
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
for
He's
sure.
saying like the most like abhorrent things about like someone's wife.
And I feel like it is like a monumental performance. Like that is the thing I knew most going into Sexy Beast, is I've heard
Yeah.
like Ben Kingsley is just off the walls
Yeah,
in
he's
it,
great.
and he
He's so
comes in
good.
and he's kind of like he just has this aura of like something's going to go wrong, because I feel like his first few scenes he doesn't really yell or scream that much in the
But
beginning.
it reminds me of Long Good Friday. Like when he walks, you see like the back of his head in the airport
Right.
and then his face, and you're like, oh,
right.
this guy means business.
Yeah, and which I said I think that shot is a direct homage to
Yeah,
the Long
yeah.
Good Friday, because it's him coming into the airport.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what a performance! And then I mean, it's a great cast all around.
It's got its own artistic style. Like he
For
keeps
sure.
visualizing the rabbit as like the human that comes and kills him.
Yeah,
like he knows he's
yeah.
marked for death.
It's almost
Yeah.
like a proto Donnie Darko rabbit, really.
Yeah, yeah. But that's like I think that's unique to if you watch Zone of Interest and Birth. Glazer does stuff like Glazer has his own style. Like he
Yeah.
adds artistic flair to everything. He
Right.
does.
And I mean, it's kind of the idea of like you're getting a glimpse into this guy's head without going into like a full on like exposition or
Right,
like a
right.
dream sequence. Like it is kind of a dream sequence, but like
Well, you do,
you
and
know
then
what I mean.
and then
Like,
when he breaks the safe at the end, you go onto his head because you see.
Yeah.
I love how they do that too. That's one of the best things ever. Is Ben Kingsley comes back, he's gonna kill him, and he's talking shit about his wife. His wife's been ran through, porn star, and the little Spanish boy has the gun, and he's like, "Oh, shoot me!" And then he knocks him over, and then he turns around, and the wife has the shotgun, and then it just cuts to Ray Winstone going. I mean, it's like, oh man, like,
it's brilliant. And then you find out, and then
Glazer's the goat, man.
Ian McShane. I did not know this is where it was going at all, because Ian McShane's pressing him. He's like, Ben Kingsley never made it back, and I was thinking like, oh, he went rogue. Like Ben Kingsley like got him in on the deal, and he's bailing. And
then, really? Yeah, I thought I knew immediately.
You knew what happened?
I was like, oh, he's there because he's covering himself.
Yeah, see, I didn't get that. So then when it cuts back, it was all the more shocking to me when it just shows them blast him in the chest with the shotgun, and then they all beat the shit out of him.
I mean, it literally is like Ben Kingsley's character like ego deathing in front of him.
Oh, for sure.
It's like awesome.
It's,
like I mean, this is such a basic thing, but he says like he's like it's a simple answer, mate. Yes or no. And he's like, I'm retired. He's like, no. Yeah, it's so good. It's like, yeah,
you've never seen Ben Kingsley like this.
Yeah, it's so good. Talking to himself in the mirror when he's shaving,
yes.
and then he's like getting himself pissed off, and then he just goes and like punches.
I know, no, he's in his own head.
He is literally like a psychopath.
He's like, you shouldn't have done that, or like he's like talking about how he's being weird.
Yeah,
and I love that the final shot of the movie is so good too, where it goes back underground and the rabbit breaks the coffin, and it's just Ben Kingsley like smoking a cigarette in there. That's
it's fantastic. I mean, really, like I said, I mean, the more you think about it, I can't think of a directorial debut that's like that well made.
No,
like it's really well put together.
The cast, as we said, is great. Ray Winstone.
The
rules.
writing, the dialogue is
Yeah,
sharp.
oh
It's
yeah,
great.
it's you can tell, and I think some of the casting is definitely like I think Ian McShane is a bit of meta casting because he's in a lot of those like 70s 60s gangster
Who's the
British
guy who's in
films.
performance?
That is it's either Edward or James Fox, their brother. I don't
Okay.
remember which one it is, but yeah, that guy
Yeah.
is a bit of like
Because he's like the
yeah, right. So like it's like they're pulling these guys that are they're I wouldn't say has-beens, but they're pulling these guys from the era that the
that he
movie
was
is.
inspired.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Like you can tell that it's inspired by the British gangster films of the era, and so I think that casting is very pointed. And then Ray Winstone too. I mean, like Scum, like he's a
Yeah.
British legend
Yeah.
as well. It's like a big heavy.
Yeah, masterful transitions. Like
Yeah,
if you go back and watch how a scene changes, you're like, it's very impressive.
yeah, oh for sure.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I
Yeah.
loved it. This next movie, I'm not as hot on. You're more hot on.
This will be a more interesting discussion, perhaps.
You think so?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I just glazed Sexy Beast. I'm like, this.
No, it's Sexy
Glazer is
Beast.
like,
Sexy Beast is great. I just don't have. I think we're on the same page with that one.
and we just watched E2 Mama Tambien last night.
Yes,
So.
we did.
All right, well, you start us off with it.
So I think this movie looms a bit large. I think it was a big blind spot for both of us.
We watched it because we had the idea for this episode to talk about the New York Times, and we're like, we should watch one that we haven't seen that's on there, and this was one of the ones. So we
agreed on. But it is a monumental film, in maybe not in the content you think, but its
impact is huge.
Yes. That's
absolutely.
what I'm saying. Is it's extremely popular. It was a big blind spot for us. I would say. What I would say about the film is I was not into it really at all until they get to the beach and probably the last half. And then the last half really, really drew me in. And I was kind of like intoxicated a bit by like kind of the last 30 minutes. Once they get to the beach, I feel like the vibes are just like incredible.
Yeah.
And, there's the shot, probably the most famous scene of the movie where they dance and it's just this incredible, one
Tracking shot.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It just really sucked me in the end. And I thought the ending is kind of a bummer. I didn't want them to not be friends anymore. But it's a really good ending.
I feel like that's like a staple of those types of
It is.
films.
And it's a coming of age, but also it's just kind of like a road hangout movie too.
I said, I wrote down when I was watching it, I said it was like the idea of like her life, because you see early that she's going to the doctor and obviously something's wrong. It's like she's introducing these young guys to like the sorrows of the world. Like they see so much sadness, like kind of just around them, like externally. Like they don't really, may not even pay attention to it, but like they drive through. They go through protests to get the car.
Is like a corrupt politician.
Exactly. Yeah, they go through protests to get the car. They stop by the quinceanera, like just some of the cars on the road or the highway.
Right.
The police. There's so many times when they're talking in the car, and then like the shot will follow the cop, and you'll see like some cops like shake some people down.
Well, and I think that's maybe why I didn't connect with it at first, is because you're just kind of following these rich kids around that are just like fucking and like
it's
off.
giving him like a taste of reality.
There's the crazy shot of the semen in the
cum
pool.
shot into a
pool.
Which when I watched it, I was literally like, what?
Right. It's jarring.
Yeah,
but,
it is jarring.
So for the first half, I think I was like, okay, like I guess I get what this is, but I'm not. It's well made. It's interspersed with narration.
The narration.
That's really
See, that's
good.
what I would say. I think the narration really adds to the. I mean, it's the heart of the film.
But I was saying is like the parts you're talking about is when it really started to get me. Like when I really started to enjoy it is when it is showing like the real side of Mexico. Because like there's a point where they're at a party with like the president, right?
Yeah. That's
he's like there's more bodyguards.
It's a wedding,
and that's where they meet the woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wedding. Yeah. But either way, that's really when the movie picked up for me. So.
Yeah, I guess my whole thing is like, and that's the point. I'm being such a cold-hearted person, but it's like, what is Julio, Tanakh? They're like shitheads.
They are.
They're like, oh, jacking off is awesome, man.
But they don't get a happy ending. Like, it's like depressing.
That's what I mean. It's like it's like a rain check.
And then it's also like equally depressing the fact it's like, oh, this woman was dying and kind of just like split up their
I guess that's what
as like a last hurrah. Like,
but I guess that's what's like surprises me that people love it so much, is because it's like a film, like what I was saying earlier, of like movies like, oh, you have to buy in, like you have to buy into these characters, and I think Luisa is like incredible. Like she's a beautiful actress. You can't take her eyes off her.
She's
can't take her eyes off her when she's on the screen.
And she has good chemistry with the boys.
But the boys are like, I don't know. I guess I just didn't love like I didn't see, like we were young, met in college, but I was never like that. I don't know.
No, I wasn't either. And so, but I get it. It is. I think what you're saying, and I could agree with, is they almost go into caricature mode
They're
at some
like chewing the
points.
scenery.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's like what
they
they're
go
like,
into
oh, like
yes.
smelling each other's
They
farts and
at points in time they are just caricatures of teenage horny boys,
exactly.
and
And they're
like,
like both like kind of old when this movie was made.
but they don't. I would say the casting works because they don't look it. They really do
They
look
do.
like they're 18 or 19.
And here's the other thing, and people are gonna judge me for this.
Diego Luna and Gail
I don't know.
Garcia Bernal.
Okay, I just know the character
Yeah,
Julio, Tanakh,
Tanakh.
Luisa. I would say, I guess the reason I'm so harsh on it too is because, like I said, we watched Sexy Beast, and I was like, oh, like Sexy Beast is Glazer's first film.
Yes.
This I was like, is this Alfonso Cuarón's film? No, it's like his fourth film.
Yeah.
Like,
and
are you kidding me?
It's not even like he's made like he'd already made I think he made the English Great Expectations with like
Right.
Ethan Hawke, so it wasn't even like he'd already done Hollywood movies.
Yeah, I mean,
I
and
think-
I'm being too harsh on it. I did really like the film.
Well, can I say my opinion on why you didn't like it as much?
Sure.
So I think it's built up into this very monumental film. Like
I was overhyped. Yeah.
Yes, it's overhyped, and then I think you were expecting something a little bit more groundbreaking. But it is a smaller. It's just it's kind of a hangout movie.
It's a great summer movie.
It's just it is,
Yeah, it's a
and
great summer movie.
it is kind of just a vibes movie. You know, it's a coming of age movie certainly, but
right.
like, I don't know. I think you might have been expecting more, but at the end of the day, I don't think you can argue that it's extremely well made.
Yes, and that's what I was saying. I'll say this. Here's what I appreciated about it. One, the narration. The narration tells a story unlike anything you're seeing. I mean,
the narration
is so interesting.
Yes.
It like wraps people's stories up. I love when they're on the boat with that guy Chewy, and they're talking about like, oh yeah, soon like a hotel will come in. Chewy will try his best to like take tourist boats, but then they have like just the whole corruption of Mexico, and then like he'll end up being a janitor. He'll never fish again. And then they get back, and then there's like pigs eating their camps, which is like very symbolic of like great. But it's like very symbolic of like what's happening.
Right.
I love, like I said, my favorite stuff are the tracking shots. When she leaves to get in the car with them, and it slowly pans back and over to the window, and then you see it again when she's on the phone. And what's his name? Saba? No, Saba is like the weed dealer guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whoever
Wano or
whatever his name is. Yeah. He's not even in there.
Right.
And that's the idea. It's like she's leaving a message to nobody. And then I love the tracking shot of they park outside the road and go to that little restaurant, hole in the wall restaurant. And then it goes back and there's like old Mexican ladies dancing and then cooking a pot. I was like, that's like right at my alley. Like I love that idea of like you're gonna see what's life's like. Like I said, you see the protest. I guess the protest. You see the quinceañera. The restaurants. And then I love also when they first stay in the hotel. They're like, let's go see her. I found that shot more enticing than the shot you're talking about when she does the long tracking back from the jukebox. When you see through the broken glass, her like sobbing, like shaking, sobbing. Because that's the thing that made me feel in this movie was how scary that must be for her.
Yeah.
She's trusting these young boys. They don't even know where they're going. But she is like, my time is short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's
like, I was just on vacation. I was just on vacation. Right. Everybody looks at vacation with like rose-colored glasses. Sometimes some parts of vacation, you're like, I might be fucked right now.
Right.
Like, it's like, I'm alone. If I, something happens, God forbid, like,
right.
What am I going to do?
Right.
And I think I thought about that with that character a lot.
Yeah. I would say, I think it just elicited maybe more of an emotional response from me than it did you. Is probably why I liked it a bit more. But I think
no, I think I'm just too harsh on it. No, I think it's a good film.
We're both in appreciation
but
of the technical aspects of it.
Alfonso Cuarón made Children of Men. Children of Men is a fucking masterpiece.
A better film.
Children of Men is so good, and it's like, but this is the movie I hear talked about more.
Yes, I would agree.
And it's like, what the hell, man? But
as we get into the top 100, though, Children of Men is higher,
as it should be. But Mama Tambien is ranked so high.
It is really high. The last thing I'll say about it, though, too, is like I said, the ending. I didn't like that. It's kind of a bummer, but I did. I ultimately really liked the ending. But then the shots he uses when they meet at the diner is like straight out of 70s cinema. Like the shot of them,
I'll say this too. I love like the ending song.
Yeah,
like when it just ends and then it's like
it's got great music.
Yeah, it's got good music. We haven't even talked about though. Like, of course they're gonna go gay. That was the other thing. Yeah. That was the other thing. That's what I mean. Nothing that happens was like I was like, yeah, I expected that. Oh, they never talk again. Yeah, I expected that. They ended up making out when they were trying to hook up the girl. Yeah, I expected that. Like it was like nothing like blew my mind. Maybe I'm just
but
jaded.
I don't know why. I guess I wasn't expecting anything to blow my mind. I will say I was not expecting them to kiss at the end.
Really?
No, because
There's that line. Louisa says the line where she's like, "Men, all you men like love fighting over women, when really all you want to do
you
is
just want
fuck
to fuck each other. I
And
know,
it's like,
but
yeah, as soon as
it's so hinted at that I didn't think they would do it. If that makes sense. Like
well, so what does that say about the quality of the movie?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it tricked you.
It took me in one direction and went in another.
Yeah.
Maybe for better or worse, but
wait, I think it hammered the direction home so much that you're like, oh wow, you actually did it.
yeah.
So what does that say? I mean, I don't know if I
No,
find that
I know
to
what
be
you mean. I know
impressive.
what you mean. It's like the obvious happens.
Yeah.
I was surprised by
The
it.
whole movie's obvious.
Yeah. Well,
I know. I'm being cold hearted. People love it. I'm in the wrong. It has a 4.2 on Letterboxd. Sexy Beast is 3.9. I think Sexy Beast is a 5-star movie. I think E2 is a 4-star movie.
I would not disagree with that necessarily. I rate E2 a little bit higher, but
E2 is more fun, and I think it's for a wider audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I just connected with it a little bit more.
I also wonder, maybe it was groundbreaking because like the group sex and like the homosexuality
I'm sure
and like Latin American cultures are like not very accepting of that stuff.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
being too harsh.
And I think it's it shows sides of Mexico that I don't think are maybe seen a lot in films. In the
Right.
sense
I
of,
think
like,
that's what I said
it
to you
shows,
when
like,
we were talking earlier. It's really important for a Mexican film.
right, like, and it shows kind of like the beneficiaries of the corruption and the greed.
Exactly.
Like,
And
it
like
doesn't show that directly, but it shows you the kind of like
I know, and that's true. I do have a blind spot. Like I've never been to Mexico.
right,
And like I don't know. But I wonder if people who love film and are from Mexico like that means
movie.
a lot to
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
For sure.
Because it shows
Because
both
it's showing
sides.
like a
It shows
time
both
pass.
sides.
You know what I mean? That's like seeing like a pre 9/11 movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
All right. Cool.
Ready
Well,
to
let's
get into the meat and
let's get into
potatoes?
the meat and potatoes.
All right. So we have the New York Times top 100 movies of the 21st century. And
So how should we do this?
I say we go through the list first, and then we'll do our
Perfect.
10.
Perfect.
So
should we just say yay or nay for if we think it should be on?
I mean, I don't know if we need to go through 100, but let's just
spotlight
ones
some.
that grab our interest. And right off the bat, number 100.
100
is
Superbad.
Way too high.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Way too high.
Superbad
should
is
be considerably.
Superbad like changed my life.
I mean, well, and we'll talk about this when we get into the top 10. But the 2000s is so good for comedy.
Right.
And I think that is probably the best comedy movie.
I think it is. For me personally, I think Superbad is like incredibly well made. It's incredibly stylistic, and it's so damn funny.
I pick a different comedy movie, and I have some different comedy movie honorable mentions that, maybe I think are funny, or Superbad is fucking hilarious. But in terms of like the best movie, Superbad is the best.
You think so?
Yes.
Like a story-wise.
Well made, story-wise.
Music,
acting,
dude.
acting.
The music is incredible.
Dude,
all the old funk.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's smart. I mean,
Michael
it's like sharp,
and,
sharp too.
Jonah Hill, man.
I didn't put a comedy movie on my top 10 list, but if I did, it would easily be Superbad. Like without question, it would have been Superbad.
So we already disagree with number 100 right off the bat.
That's another one. Number 99 is Memories of Murder.
Too high.
Way too high.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what else we got. Grizzly Man.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen that. Gravity. So there's a lot
of Quran. Yeah, I told you.
And
that movie is like not supposed to be even that good. People get like a 3.5.
It's a big deal when it came out.
Black Panther.
Black Panther's 96. I will slightly defend that.
You think it should be 96?
I think it should be on the list.
I do too.
I don't know where I'd put it.
I would honestly put it maybe like 88 or something.
Yeah, it is a monumental film.
Yeah, I would put it like mid to late 80s.
Yeah. So I would just agree with it being on the list. Placement, I'm not a huge fan of it, so I can't say. But
Minority Report.
Minority Report's 94, the only Spielberg on the list, I think, right?
But that might be his best of the 2000s.
I would say it's his best of the 2000s, but I feel like people like Catch Me If You Can more than Minority Report.
Yeah, Minority Report is like more important now.
Yes, Minority Report's a big movie. Michael Clayton, 93, way too high.
Yeah, I have not seen Michael Clayton. But that's when we talked about watching a movie on the list, and that's the one I brought up, but he was like, I'd already seen it.
So good.
Because I really want to see Michael Clayton.
I mean, that's what I think of when I think of Clooney now.
Really? Michael Clayton?
I think that is his like ultimate like movie star performance in movie. He's fantastic in it. It's just one of those like just fantastic like political thrillers.
Yeah. Like I've heard nothing but good
takes
things.
place in boardrooms and meetings. Yeah. It's so good. So that's way too high too.
Gladiator,
Best Picture winner.
Interesting. Francis
I
Ha, I'd
haven't
like to
seen
see
these
it.
yet.
I haven't.
Interstellar at
Interstellar,
89.
of course, it's going to be
I
on
don't
there.
love Interstellar, but that seems kind of high too. I feel like you're okay. I would maybe not put Interstellar on my top 100, but I'm surprised that it's that high
You have to
because
think
people
though,
love it.
100 is a lot of movies.
It is a
man.
lot of movies.
I think you'd be on there.
It probably would. I do have a Nolan on my 10.
Fellowship of the Ring, that's way too high.
87.
But they only, I don't know if they put anyone, I mean, Return of the King, I would put Return of the King as like top 5.
So they actually have Anchorman at 85.
85.
So that might be the highest comedy movie on there.
Really? No, it's not. I'll tell you because it's number 50 is Melancholia. Love Melancholia, but there's a movie that's not on there that obviously I'll talk about later. But Act of Killing, Black Swan,
81. Yeah,
great,
that's good. I can't
Beauvais,
argue
I
that
like
too much.
Tree of Life. Yeah, I think that's fitting.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. It seems a little high too. I haven't seen it.
But it's funny because Parasite came out, everybody's like it's the best movie ever. Then Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, everybody's like it's the best movie ever, and that's a 77. And you'll see where Parasite is.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? 76. I mean, there's a lot of Coens on this list, and I agree with. Yeah, that's not one of my favorites.
More Michael Haneke, I'd love to see. I've not seen it.
Florida Project at 74. I love Florida Project. That's
I'm
fine.
not as big on Sean Baker as everybody else.
That's fine. Ratatouille at 73.
Yeah,
people
love Ratatouille. But I have a kids movie on mine that's on this. It's way down. I think it's a lot better.
73 is too high, man. Ocean's 11. That's kind of surprising. Oh, and Ocean's 11 above Michael Clayton. That's really surprising.
Well, you have to think this is the New York Times. You know what I mean?
Right. But then, okay. So, but the same reason that I'm surprised that Ocean's 11 is 71 is the same reason I'm surprised that Interstellar is 86. It's like if it's based on popularity, you would think Interstellar would be like top 20. I mean,
well, I just wonder. I mean, you read some of the people who are like commenting on stuff, and like, are you kidding me, man?
It could also be
this one, man. Under the Skin, 69. I think that's way too low.
That should be noted too.
Or way too high.
This could be a good insight into the disconnect between like what the general populace values as the best movies of this era and like people in the industry, because this poll is supposed to be people from the industry or involved in the industry.
But then you see who's making the comments, and you're like, I mean, come on, man. Patton Oswalt, freaking Mikey Madsen.
Like Ari Aster gave the comments for
Ari Aster, sure.
Hurt Locker, sure. Sure.
Tar,
we haven't seen.
I've seen Tar.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, it's good. Spotlight, I don't remember.
Oppenheimer, so some more Nolan. Gone
Girl, really need to see that film. Little Miss Sunshine, I would definitely keep on there.
Memento at 62. That's a big one. I debated that in my.
I think that was a big deal when it came out. Kill Bill Volume 1, way too high. I think Kill Bill Volume 1
should be way lower. Should be way
lower. Arguably, that could be Tarantino's best.
Right.
Whiplash, also way too high.
We should clarify, when we say too high, we mean it's underrated on the list.
Yeah, it's like high up on the list.
Exactly.
It should be one of the lower numbers. I'd like to see that film.
Uncut Gems.
I think it should be Good Time.
I was gonna say it would not be my Safdie pick.
Yeah, Good Time is.
It would be Good Time.
So much better.
Best in Show. I like that inclusion. Yes, Best in Show is fantastic.
Punch Drunk Love, fantastic.
Inception at 55. That's crazy, man.
Oh, well, people have kind of warmed up to Nolan.
You want it here?
Or Cole,
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to bring up. Borat at 53. Look, that's another thing. People get mad for that. Borat, it's just all right, man.
I would agree. I'm going to go ahead and get down to the
Old Boy,
the bottom of it. Yeah, Old Boy's too high too.
Yee, I'd love to see that. I think that's really good.
So, and I'll say this:
A Serious Man at 36.
36. Come on.
That's good. What do you mean?
It should be higher.
Yeah, but nobody's seen A Serious Man.
But they should.
I know it was nominated for Best Picture. I think it's
it was.
Yeah, it's so good.
It was. So my
Wall-E.
Yeah. That's.
I think that's the best.
That's maybe an arguably better. So my take is kind of that.
Well, no, wait. Can you just go back?
Yeah. Sorry.
Go up. So this is what we're talking about when I say it's the New York Times.
Bridesmaid is 32.
32 is Bridesmaids, and 31 is The Departed. Are you fucking kidding me? Maybe Bridesmaids. Maybe I'm being harsh on Bridesmaids.
I bet it's funny.
It is funny.
I bet it's
and
funny.
It's good. It's like it's actually really good. But I just think those are
okay.
Arrival.
So let's get into the top 30 now. Arrival. Dark Knight.
Dark Knight's too low or too high.
I would have guessed that as top 5.
Yeah, I would have guessed that as like 11 or something.
Yeah. Adaptation. Great.
Fantastic. Great. So
probably,
funny.
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah,
I think it's a good spot.
One of his best. Anatomy of Fall. Yeah. It's good.
Phantom Thread. Yeah. So I think once we get in the top 30, things are a little bit more agreeable. I've not seen Her. But it's Spike
See,
Jonze. I think it's pretty
her
good.
and Anatomy of a Fall. I don't know if I finished either one because I watched them in like very weird situations.
Boyhood, I know we haven't seen it, but it's such an accomplishment.
Yeah, yeah, Linklater.
It's
Yeah,
right. Seven filmed over like 7 or 10 years. Grand
Grand
Budapest
Budapest
Hotel.
Hotel.
So I think once we get in the top 30, it's a lot more agreeable.
Sure.
Uh, there is one glaring one that I'm going to point out. Roll Tenenbaums at 21. And then we have probably the Ugly Duckling, I would say, at the top 20.
But this is a
But
people
it's another one of
love
those that
this
people
movie.
love. Wolf of Wall Street at
Yeah,
10.
I think Wolf of Wall Street is, Wait, can we just do this? Scroll
Yeah.
down a little bit because it's Benny Safdie who left the review. Read what Benny Safdie
It's a
said, or I'll
very
read it.
long movie,
I can
but
read
it
it.
doesn't. It's a very long movie, but it doesn't feel long. There's something about the speed of it, the energy. I'm like, how the hell did Scorsese do that at his age? Just tap into this manic madness, and it was ahead of its time too. Now Jordan Belfort is all over Instagram with his selling tactics.
Benny Safdie, are you an idiot? And it was ahead of its time too. Now Jordan Belfort is all over Instagram with his tactics. Why do you think? Because of this fucking movie, you moron. God, it pissed me off when I read that. It's like, what are you talking about?
That is so dumb.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, Scorsese. Scorsese makes like, oh, Silence, Last Temptation of Christ. You made this film. Look what you did to society, man. We know kids who think this movie's so cool and now they're addicted to drugs. Fuck you. Seriously.
Well, that's
it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a movie about like the biggest scumbag on earth, but I'm gonna make him look cool. Drugs are sick, dude. You should get addicted to pain pills. It's like fucking moron.
No, I agree. I don't like that film. 19, we have Zodiac.
Big San Francisco film. I've not seen it.
Yes, it is a big San Francisco film, of course. 18 is E to Mama Tambien, which you wouldn't put it that high. I wouldn't put it.
I would definitely put it in the top 100.
I wouldn't put it that. No, I wouldn't put it that low.
I would probably put it like 45.
It's good, and that's scene. Who gives the bit about Lulu Wang? Not familiar with her. Brokeback Mountain 17.
I need to see that.
Can't
Yeah,
really
everybody loves
that. That's
that was what was beaten by Crash.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I have not seen that either.
It's been a long time.
Cannot
since
argue
I've
with
seen
that either. That's what I'm saying. The top 20 is pretty good.
City of God.
City of God.
City of God's too low.
Pretty great.
Or too high.
Too high, yeah.
I think City of God's top 10.
That could be top 10. Inglourious Bastards at 14. So that's the highest Tarantino.
No, it's not. Keep going.
Oh.
Children of Men at 13. Children of Men is the highest so good.
Yes.
Children of Men is so good. Truly fantastic.
Quaron. Not
Quaron. I don't know what it is.
It's Quaron.
Zone of Interest at 12. I think that's recency bias. I think Glazer is one of the best working directors, like I said, but to have it at 12 is a little bit
Mad Max Fury Road at 11.
Yeah, I see. I need to.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And there's a great whoever wrote the thing. Because I read some of these.
Dennis Lehane.
I don't know who that is.
Greatest action sequence ever committed to film, and those 2 stars. I mean, you have a film that has almost no dialogue, so they have to cast 2 people you can never take your eyes off of, and they did.
I thought that was a great. Yeah,
I like that a lot. Yeah, 2 people you can't take your eyes off. That's Social Network at 10, which I have not seen, but I've heard.
You've never seen it?
No.
Yeah, you should watch it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you can't stress its importance. I mean, it really is. Yeah, that's like when I saw that at 10, I was like, I appreciate that. Yeah. Spirited Away
at 9.
Love Spirited Away.
Maybe even a little high at 9.
Really? But then we're gonna tell our top 10.
It's hard and it's not even in my top 10. Get Out at 8. That's probably the one I would.
Get Out is good. When I saw Get Out, I was like, it's a near perfect movie.
It's inarguably a monumental film.
Yeah,
like it is inarguably like one of the most important.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. We have to look at. You have to look at the importance.
I know. Yes, and that is inarguably one of the most important movies.
I think if I made it 100, it would definitely be in my top.
You can argue that's maybe the most important movie of the last 10 years.
Yeah, but this is the last 25.
I know. I'm just saying it is, but I'm just saying
maybe the last 10 years. Yeah, you could make that.
Get Out
is
argument. Monumental, dude.
For sure. But you know what I would say is I think it's what's next.
What's next? Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is 7.
Okay.
And then we have No Country for Old Men, 2007.
Fantastic. That could be like
too high. That's 6.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that could be like 3 on mine.
That could be 1.
Moonlight. That's what I was gonna say. I think Moonlight's probably one of the most important movies.
It is.
Moonlight's like brilliant.
It is.
Like Moonlight is where I said Get Out is a near perfect movie. I would say Moonlight is a perfect.
It is.
Like there is no filler.
No.
You are instant. Like every version of that character as you see him grow, like you are like totally bought in on.
It's the saddest thing about Moonlight is that I feel like it's partly still known because of the Oscar fuck up.
Really?
Where Warren Beatty announced La La Land
Yeah, that's
and
right. Was
Moonlight
it Warren
won.
Beatty?
It was Warren Beatty and
I thought it was Al
It was
Pacino.
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway because it was
Okay.
the 50th anniversary of Bonnie and Clyde.
Gotcha.
So that's why they did that.
I know, and you're right because then people were like, "Oh, well, it should have been La La Land."
Like I remember talking to my dad and my uncle once, and he was like, "Isn't that like gay black movie that won Best Picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's
like just
it's
shut up and watch
amazing."
the
I was
movie,
like, "Yeah,
Dad.
just watch it. You know, it's amazing."
Everybody who I've recommended to has seen it.
But
Like,
that's
it's
what I'm
incredible.
saying. It's like,
so good. It's truly like I was being called to eat Mama Tambien. Moonlight brought tears to my eyes.
Moonlight's, God, it's a masterpiece.
Really
Number
is.
4, In the Mood for Love, which I have not seen.
Very good.
Obviously,
very good.
Monumental.
Yeah, Won't Crow Eye. Just charming. I said that to you when I saw. I was like, it's just a charming film.
Number 3,
There Will Be Blood, which I would put at number 1.
Yes, I was gonna say that is probably your number.
I think There Will Be Blood is like defies it just shows like what you can do with a film.
And number 2,
Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive.
And here's my hot take, and I love Lynch. We talk about Lynch every episode. I said I think Mulholland Drive is 2 because he died recently.
No, I disagree. But if you look at
I think it's no doubt a top 10 movie.
If you look at like the Sight and Sound polls, which is top
you're right.
10 of all time.
You're convincing me.
Top 10.
You've come around to it because you're like it's talking about the importance of how people are treated in Hollywood and like the evil mysteries of LA. And
it's critical praise. I think has nothing.
It's fantastic. I loved it. I mean, it blew my mind when I saw it.
But like, there is no critical reappraisal of Mulholland Drive because David Lynch is passing. It's already been anointed.
I literally got like one of my biggest celebrity crushes is Naomi Watts because of that.
I mean, it's like maybe the greatest performance I've ever seen.
You're right. It's so good.
Fucking incredible.
It's so good.
I mean, just think. About
I shouldn't have even. Yes, you're right. I wouldn't put it at number 2. I would put it in the top 10. I think
maybe we'll get into it. Maybe we'll get into it when we do our top 10s. Wink,
wink.
That's
right.
Wink, wink. And then number 1 is Parasite.
Parasite, man.
Can you argue with that?
I loved Parasite. I saw Parasite. God, I'm so using. I saw Parasite before everybody wouldn't shut the fuck up about Parasite. Do you remember? And I invited you and Chandler. It was right when it came out into Belcourt because I was like, oh, it won Palme d'Or. And I invited you and Chandler. I was like, we should go see this movie. I think it's supposed to be really, really good. And then I was smiling cheek to cheek when I watched it. And then I was like, wow, it was so good. And then I was like, oh, no. Because everybody's like, have you seen Parasite? Oh, my God, Parasite.
Right.
And so it doesn't surprise me at all. It's number 1. But it is. It's you've got to watch it. I mean, because it is. It's like, it's a movie that I think, whereas like Y Tu Mama Tambien was like, oh, that's overhyped for me. Everybody won't, I've heard so much praise for it. And I see it and I'm like, yeah, it's good. But it's not like, this would be one that I think you'll see and be like, no, I understand why.
Gotcha.
It's
for
brilliant.
Sure.
It's brilliant. Everything about it is brilliant.
I've never heard a bad thing. I've never heard it even like it being overrated.
No, it's literally brilliant. Like it's like, Bong Joon-ho really did a good thing.
So one thing I want to say too about this list that kind of surprised me: no Bonds, none of the Daniel Craig Bonds, no Casino Royale or Skyfall. You would think one.
Well, I would think Casino Royale for sure.
Casino Royale is the first one, but I think Skyfall might be the more critically praised, perhaps. Well, surprising either way though that neither of those. It wouldn't be both, obviously, but
I mean, my top 10, and these aren't top 10s in the sense of I didn't write this as like a top 10 of like this is going to be 1 through 10 of the best 100 movies.
No,
I just meant these are the 10 because everybody could contribute 10. I was like, these are the 10 I would.
And I think that's how people contribute too. They put their favorites, right? And so these are going to be our favorites. They're not.
But you were like, oh, no Bonds. I'm telling you, I look at this list right now, and I swear to you, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of my 10 movies are on this.
4 of your
are on the New York Times 100.
Only let's see, 3, 5 of mine.
So okay, so we do have some different.
6 actually.
Oh, okay. 6. So there you go.
So I actually have a bit of agreement, but I don't think any. There's one. Okay, so maybe I do agree with this list a bit more than you do because 2 of my top 10 are also in the top 10 of.
So are mine. Yeah.
Are we ready to get into our top 10?
Sure. Well, let's give this preface for the fans and the coming on fans. We'll get more as we go. His list is very popcorny. You said what was the thing you said?
Some butter. You need some butter with this list because it is popcorn.
And if you haven't gotten the sense already, mine's gonna be like this guy's his head up his ass.
Yes.
He's such a pretentious
I have 3 franchise films in.
All right. So are you gonna start at 10? Shoot.
Yes.
So how do you want to do this?
We start at 10, go down. Let's just give a little.
Do we want to do your 10 then my 10 then your 9 then my 9, or do you want to do each?
What do you think is better?
I don't know. I really
maybe let's swap off.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
Okay. So my number 10, as I mentioned earlier, I think the 2000s is just the greatest decade for comedies. So I had to put a comedy in, and I did this with my 90s list too. I had Office Space at 10, my favorite comedy of the 90s. This was much harder to pick my favorite comedy of the 2000s, and I have put Jackass 2 as my
Which,
favorite
when you
comedy
said that, I
film.
was like, "That's awesome." I think that's such a cool one
It
to
is
have.
my favorite Jackass. It is so
Early
yes,
2000s.
it is
It
so
is
emblematic of
perfect.
the early 2000s. It's the one where they're the most hopped up on stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're at their most
Yeah. See.
degenerative. Uh, and it's just such a funny movie. It's just so wonderful. I
Yeah, the
love
Jackass
I
movies are
love
great.
all the Jackasses, but two is the best. Two is the peak of their degeneracy and just being absolutely wild. They go to
Yeah.
Japan.
Mhm.
3-6 Mafia pays Steve-O to eat a cow turd.
Well, I was gonna say
they milk the
it's so funny.
horse.
It's so funny bringing this up because maybe I am being too hard because I was like, we're not like this, guys. And I was like, there have been many nights where me and the buddies and you two have been drinking and we put on
Just watch
Jackass.
Jackass.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good. It's
It's
so
very
good.
funny.
So I had to put that as, and I was like I said, that was a really hard choice to pick one comedy. And I'll get into my honorable mentions later. But
Yeah, we'll do because I have a
that is
ton of honorable
number
mentions too.
10 for me. Jackass 2.
My number 10, and this does not mean that I would have put it at number 10. In fact, I would have put it much higher. And this listed is Moonlight, just because I was like, Moonlight has to be on there. Moonlight is, yeah, like we've already talked about it so much. It's such a great film. Barry Jenkins. I mean, yeah, round of applause. If I ever met you, man, I would be like, you are like a
God,
living legend.
yes.
Yeah, seriously. Because it's like, look at us. We're like two straight white guys, and it's like one of the best
Oh, it's so powerful.
heartbreaking films I've ever seen.
Extremely
Yeah,
powerful.
it's exactly.
It's moving.
It really is.
Film.
Anybody could
Yes,
watch it.
yes,
Yeah.
it's beyond deserving. Of
If someone watched that stone face, I'd be like, you are not a human
no,
being.
and if someone
Yeah.
watched that and was like, La La Land should have still won Best Picture,
Well, I've never seen La La Land,
but Moonlight is one of the more
Moonlight
deserving,
is
deserving,
one of the best Best
I've
Picture
ever
winners.
seen.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly,
one of
absolutely.
the best Best Pictures I've ever seen.
All right.
So my number 9, this is probably the hardest slot for me to fill in, and I went through a lot of movies here, but ultimately I have landed on Mission Impossible Fallout.
Really?
Yes. So I'm a huge fan of the Mission Impossible series. Fallout is probably my favorite. That's the one with Henry Cavill in it. So probably 2. I would say that is maybe also my most recent film on this list
that you've seen. Oh, most recent, newest
on my top 10. Yes, the newest movie in my top 10, and maybe most recent I've seen. It definitely. Okay. No, that's not true. But yeah, Fallout's my favorite of the series. It's so hard picking from that because there's good stuff in everyone. Like Dead Reckoning Part 1 has maybe my favorite car chase I've ever seen in a film in it, and I would not put Dead Reckoning in my top 10, but like there's just scenes in all of them that are so good. 3 has Philip Seymour Hoffman in it.
Right.
I just love the
franchise. I like that
man.
you added it because those movies have been peppered through.
Yes.
This whole
exactly. Yes, they have been. They come out every 3 or 4 years. The most significant break being between 3 and Rogue Nation. But yeah, so I feel like I had to put a Mission Impossible.
Okay.
There.
My number 9 is probably the most obscure film I have on here. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of Japanese cinema. This is Tokyo Sonata from 2008, Kiyoshi Kurosawa from Cure. Now Cure is seeing resurgence. I would not be surprised if people start talking about Tokyo Sonata.
Right.
If Tokyo Sonata gets a Criterion release, people will be like, "Holy shit!"
Well, that's what happens. Is these directors, one movie starts gaining traction online, and then the people when they they'll discover. Rest.
I have the Eureka Blu-ray, which is a British.
Yeah.
It is Eureka. So great. I showed it to my dad. I gave it to my dad, and he loved it. I would equate this movie to what American Beauty did for the United States, Tokyo Sonata does for Japan, but it's 20 times better than American Beauty.
It's a good comparison.
Because it's the idea of outsourcing, taking over, and how family is crumbling in the new age.
And I'll just say that holds a lot of weight because
one of the sons has to go off to war. Well, I mean, it's just.
I was going to say that comparison holds a lot of weight because in the big 2025, we still like American Beauty. I think a little bit.
I think if I watched it again, I wouldn't like it as much.
I mean, it's inarguably aged very poorly.
This movie did not age poorly. This movie is great. There's stuff in this movie that is like genuinely funny.
But I'm just saying, you saying it's 20 times better than American Beauty is not like comparing it to.
And when I say,
a
I'm sorry,
plastic
that's such a
bag
bad
floating
way
in the
that
wind.
I need to work on how I explain things. When I said there are
Reference.
things this way that are genuinely funny, I mean funny in like the saddest way, where you're like,
Right.
oh, this is what would happen. This is how a family crumbles
You're like, oh,
under,
that's
yeah,
funny.
under like
Right.
this like globalized world. Yeah,
Cool. So
very good. Highly recommend it.
number 8, I have one that I thought was way too high on the top 100. My first one that is in common with the top 100, and that's Inception. Not a diehard Nolan guy, but I love Inception. I
Mm-hmm.
always have since I first saw it when it came out. I think it's
Yeah,
his
it's
best
impressive.
movie. It's very impressive. Wonderful cast. Just high octane action. So awesome. I love that that it's kind of his Bond in a sense, because I think that's kind of the inception of it. Wink, wink. Is he didn't get to make a Bond film, so he kind of made that,
Yeah,
and
I like that.
it's huge movie,
It's
very
too.
important.
This is kind of ridiculous, but it's too mind bending to be a Bond movie. You could not
Well,
make a
no,
Bond
no,
movie.
obviously it's not his
Yeah,
direct answer to Bond, but
but you're
he
saying
he
like
made
the
that because
stylized, yes.
like the entire sequence where they're in the snow is an homage to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Um, yes, and the dog's coming in to share her top 10.
Hmm.
She likes cats and dogs.
Yeah, but that might be before 2000.
I,
Okay, so that was your 7, or that was your
yes,
8?
that was my
8.
8. Yes,
Okay, my
Inception.
8 would be what I would put on number 1 on this list, and that is There Will Be Blood. There Will Be
Why do you have
Blood.
that at 8 then?
Because this was just when I
Okay,
made this 10, I was just rattling off like stuff I for sure wanted to put on
okay.
there. That's what I mean. I would put Moonlight way above 10 too. I mean, Moonlight is. But There Will Be Blood. I think I was saying earlier. I mean, we talked about Best Picture winners. No Country for Old Men won Best Picture over There Will Be Blood. I do not envy the decision
The
makers of that.
makers that had to choose between
Yeah,
those two.
choose those two.
Massive.
What a blessing that
I
was
know.
that year, man.
Can we get
Oh
that
my
again? Can we
God.
get like 2 competitors like that
Yeah,
again,
for
dude?
real.
Come on. All right. So, were you done with your 8?
I mean, I could go on and on about it, but I'll spare it because we talked about it earlier. I mean, Daniel Day Lewis is
it's a movie that speaks for
groundbreaking.
itself.
It's beautifully shot. I mean, it is. It's just about like the complete crumble of this man and how he's just totally. Paul Dano. Oh my God, Paul Dano, so good. Everybody's so good in it,
Gets his
and it's just
milkshake
an
drinking.
eerie. It's like a tense.
Right.
Yeah, it's tense the whole way through. It's so good.
Fantastic. So my number 7 is animated film. Also, 2000s. I think is Pixar is all over the 2000s, and so I have picked Ratatouille as my.
Yeah, I love Ratatouille.
I will say my second favorite Pixar movie, Toy Story 2, is going to be number 1.
Okay.
But Ratatouille is probably my favorite animated film of the era. And
yeah, it's charming. It's great. Patton Oswalt, I kind of shut on Patton Oswalt for all that, but I'm sure
he's great.
Yeah, he's great. He's perfect.
Makes you want to go to France and eat some food, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like know, and I'm kind of a Disney guy. I'll admit a little bit, and I don't know. It just makes you like love it. Like it's just such a good movie, and I don't know. Not much else to say about it. I think a lot of people put WALL-E maybe
that's
as the best.
Well,
as the list.
That literally is my number 7.
Okay,
it's WALL-E.
So perfect.
So perfect transition.
We both have our Pixar films as number 7.
WALL-E is just brilliant. Yeah, it's great. It makes you care for the robot. It shows like humanity. I think it's one of the few Pixar movies that is like giving you like this is what humanity is going to be like if we don't fix ourselves.
Yeah, no, it's
honestly we're on the course for exactly what WALL-E is.
It's very it's very prescient.
Obese people in floating chairs with screens in front of them. I mean, what is more prescient than that?
And I'm going to change Kiko's pick. Her favorite is actually Isle of Dogs.
Okay, Isle of Dogs, good one.
Because it's dogs just hanging out.
Yeah, it is. I like that movie.
I do too. I didn't have any Wes Anderson on my top 10.
I didn't either. But I like Life Aquatic,
and
I know that's
not super surprising.
Yeah.
Though I do like Wes Anderson. Okay. My number 6, I think this is one you like a good amount too, is Hereditary. One that was not on the top 100.
See, I've got a horror movie on here too that was on the top. I know, it is shocking.
How is that not in the top 100? That's
not a single Ari
Aster
like film.
Besides Get Out, that's one of the major.
I remember seeing
films.
It in theaters and it like scaring the that and The Witch,
right?
Like that whole the early A24.
The Witch isn't even on there either.
Yeah, there's not a single Robert Eggers on there. Yeah,
and it's like I feel like those 2 movies are so important too because they're kind of the ones that
like really rebirthed horror again.
And
you know
they
what I mean?
skyrocketed A24 to what they are. A24 just won Best Picture.
Yeah.
And it kind of started with The Witch, really. I
The
feel
Witch
like
was
The Witch,
before.
It Comes at Night, and then like Hereditary
Yeah,
certainly was
that's
like,
right.
you know,
All are good. Great
yeah,
horror.
yeah. So that is surprising. So what's your number 6?
My number 6 is one that is sacrilege that it's not on there, but I think it's not on there because it's part of a trilogy and they have the first movie on there, and that is The Return of the King. The Return of the King 100% should be in the top 10. Return of the King is like, I follow, Cinema Cartography, which is now House Tabula. He put that as like his number 1 movie of all time. And he's like a film, he's kind of a pretentious guy too, or it's a couple. But Return of the King is, I mean, can you
put that as
think
his
of
number 1 all time?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Can you think of a better action film? You don't.
Right.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
I've never connected with the Lord of the Rings that much.
Oh
my
my
dad
God,
is
man.
obsessed.
It's incredible. The extended cut, it's like 4.5 hours, and you fly through it. It's so good.
I owe them a rewatch.
Yeah, you do.
I do. So my number 5 is a film that I thought was way too high on this list as well, and that is A Serious Man. So it's easily my most recent watch.
Yeah, it's great.
Most recent film I've watched of this list, and just a movie I fell in love with the second it ended.
Yes,
Coen Brothers.
Who was the one? I told you
I know,
watch that movie. You got to watch more of these movies.
You've been telling me a long time, and it completely. I think Miller's Crossing was the first that really reignited my Coen Brothers flame, and then watching that, I was like, oh, they are like
some of the
probably
greatest
the greatest living directors,
yeah.
like ever.
Well, I'd say. Well, I'll get into it. Sorry.
Okay.
No. Go ahead.
I have A Serious Man in number 5, just a masterpiece. So funny, so dark. Just it's the perfect Coen Brothers movie. It really is. It's the best of their sensibilities altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. My number 5 is my horror pick, and it is pretty high on this list, or maybe not as high as I'd like it to be, and that is Under the Skin. I think Under the Skin is a movie that anybody could watch. I would like to hear what you think about this. I think it's a horror movie, right? You would say it's a horror movie.
It is.
And it is like an art house film. Like it is purely art house. But it is so well made that I think anybody could watch it and be like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's probably not as approachable as Sexy Beast.
Oh yeah,
in terms of Glazer
but that's why I brought it up, because you were like, I think Coen Brothers. I would say Jonathan Glazer might be the greatest.
My only caveat to that was I think a lot of people would watch it and they would probably say that's the weirdest movie they've ever watched.
Yeah,
but a lot of people would like it.
It
people that haven't seen like that.
It sits with you.
It does.
There are shots that are like brilliant.
Yes.
The skin floating. The Isle of Blood. I mean, it's
beautiful movie.
God, it's so good.
Wonderful performance.
So eerie too.
Yes.
The idea of like them on motorcycle. Yeah, it's great.
Wonderful central performance too. We got a shout out to.
Yeah,
ScarJo.
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
And so that's your number 5.
That is my number 5.
Number 5. Okay. My number 4. Bit of Asian cinema. One I thought is insanely too high on this top 100. That's Old Boy. What did they have it on here?
They had it at like 46.
Which is
I said that in the break. We'll probably cut it out. But I said that is sacrilege to have it.
Unbelievable.
Fuck the New York Times.
I mean, talk about a monumental film.
It's so good.
From overseas too.
I know. And that's so similar to how people be like, oh, that's the weirdest movie I've ever seen, Under the Skin. Old Boy would be like, that's the most fucked up movie I've ever seen, but it's so good.
If Old Boy didn't exist, we wouldn't have Parasite at number 1.
You think so?
Because it's such a crossover of Asian cinema.
Yeah,
in the early 2000s.
Actually, I mean that's what's going on Instagram right now. Is Memories of Murder was shot at the same time as Old Boy, and there's pictures of what's his name?
The lead actor.
Yeah, I want to say it's like
Su Kang.
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Well, anyways, there's pictures of them together. They were filming at the same time, and I was like, that's so cool because they're both. Fantastic.
Maybe I'm overstating its impact, but it feels like
no, you're not. I agree with you.
The Asian cinema has always been on the darker side. And that feels like the first movie that really crossed over with like American, like international audiences. And I've heard tales of like that was a DVD that was passed around dorm rooms.
Oh yeah, and when Netflix
we were
came
in college,
out,
it was huge on Netflix. Everybody was talking about, you got to watch this movie on Netflix, Old Boy.
Yeah.
I would put City of God in that category.
City of God as well.
Netflix college films that everybody was big into.
Nymphomaniac.
Nymphomaniac too. Memento, another one on the top one.
So my number 4, that's so funny, was going to be Old Boy, but I changed it, recency bias, to Joint Security Area. So also Park Chan-wook. Yeah, but it's just so good. You should definitely watch. I told you before I left the channel, he's like, you gotta watch Joint Security Area. I would say that one maybe. I think Old Boy deserves to be top 10. I just put this one because I'm pretentious. I got my head on my ass, and I think it just means more to Korea. It is like a film like Yes, it is. It's
because
just so good. It's about
I
the
mean,
joint
Old
security
Boy's
area.
about Old Boy. I think it's about Korean culture in a sense too, but
It's about like what's that? There's a collection that's called like Tartan Video Extreme or something
mm-hmm,
like that.
mm-hmm.
It's really like the Korean extreme is
It's
Old
like
Boy,
it's the
whereas
Korean.
joint security area is like you're like this is going to be like some like slow courtroom drama, and it is everything but that. It is Rashomon
Yeah,
style. It
it's
is
awesome.
so joyful, man. It is just yeah. I can't stress enough. People should watch that film. So,
All right,
so we love Park Chan Wook
we
here.
do
Maybe also in the argument for greatest living director.
certainly. All right, so my number three is probably of all the films on this list the most important to me personally. And this is a monumental film for me. Cannot be understated how big this movie is for me, and that is Fast and the Furious: Tokyo Drift. Another
That's
bit of
so funny.
Asian cinema.
I thought you were going to say something completely different.
What do you think I was going to say?
Mulholland Drive.
No. Tokyo Drift is like one of the most important films to me. It has influenced like everything I like. It's been a huge influence on my interests and styles. Yeah, I've always been into automotive and cars, but definitely when I saw that movie as a kid, it like awakened something new in me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I
Yeah,
love all Fast and Furious is probably my favorite franchise. Not created equal.
right.
They are not all good. And
But sorry,
no,
I
continue.
was just say, but similar to how you have Mission Impossible on there, I would say this is like one that's
Well, and
it's peppered throughout the
it
years. It
is, it
is.
is, and you could argue Too Fast, Too Furious.
I would say that would be the one that
It's
I
Too
would.
Fast, Too Furious
If
is
that was
my
on this
second.
list, that would make sense. I don't think Tokyo Drift
No,
would be.
Tokyo Drift wouldn't
If
be on the
Tokyo Drift would be
list.
on here, it'd be in like the '90s.
But I will say, I have always liked Tokyo Drift, and I've always stood up for it. And I think finally it is coming back around where people like it now.
Yeah,
I've seen the letterbox
I
score
like it.
go from like a sub 3 to like above a 3 with a heavy
And you're
indentation
at home like
of four
yes.
and fives, and I'm like, yes. Our roommate Chandler, we talk about this ad nauseum. Back in the day, we were like, dude, you know what movie everyone hates, but it's actually so good is Tokyo Drift, and
Gotcha.
not I will say not great performance at the lead, Lucas Black, bless his heart, but he talk about age casting in E2 Mama Tambien. That is
Yeah, right.
significantly worse. He's like 30
That's
playing a
true.
high schooler.
That's true.
I don't think he's that old, but he looks very old. But yeah, just like it's like that Tokyo Drift is like my cultural zeitgeist. You could
Wow,
say.
that's funny. I would say that about Superbad for me.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
had that
It like
impact.
had it like changed
Yes,
your
yes. I mean, you can even see my Too Fast, Too Furious poster behind you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right.
yes.
Okay, so my number three, I would want to change it now, but I'll go ahead and say what I wrote down, just because when I was looking at my letterbox, I was like, yeah, this movie, and I'm surprised it's not on the list. Is The Great Beauty,
Yes.
right? I mean, The Great Beauty
I thought that
2013.
was on. Is that not on
It's
top
not
of
on the
mine? I
list. Isn't
could have
that
sworn.
crazy?
I could have sworn I saw that on there,
Mm-mm.
but
I don't think it is.
maybe I expected it. I just
Right?
expected it being on there.
The
So
Great Beauty is
it's a good movie.
fantastic. It is so good,
Talk about a
and
vibes
it's
movie.
yeah, and it's kind of it's just important to me in the sense of like it's a tale about like what is the meaning of life. Is it going to be like this hedonistic partying all the time, or is it the complete polar opposite where you like dedicate your life to morals and like
Right.
Christian hierarchy? And yeah, it's just beautifully made, and yeah, I think Paulo Sorrentino is a great
Mm-hmm.
director. The acting's great. It's
It
very
is.
funny. It's a charming film. Like
It
you said,
is. It is
vibes.
charming. It's a vibes movie.
Hmm.
It's just good vibes. So as I get into my top two, I will say this is kind of where my list stops going from. It is still my favorites, but I would also argue you could say these are maybe the two best movies.
On the really?
Yes,
See, I would say
yes,
my top two are just
your
when
favorites.
you were like you have to put 10 for the top 100. I was like these are without a doubt I'm putting because honestly I didn't even ended up I chose Joint Security, but the two and then Old Boy were like immediately I was like that's gonna be
Yeah.
on
So my number two is No Country for Old Men.
there. Yeah,
My favorite
fantastic. It's the
Coen
best Coen
Brothers
Brothers movie.
best
Yeah,
film.
it's the best Coen
My
Brothers movie.
favorite
Fargo.
Fargo might be.
Yeah.
Or Serious Man is so good too. But No Country for Old Men
I'm
is their
so
best film.
glad that you like A Serious Man
It's
because
so,
I how
it's
many
so
years
fucking
have I
good,
told you and
dude.
Chandler to watch A
I
Serious
know
Man?
it's so good. I've
Yeah.
been missing out. I've been missing out for so long. But yeah, I mean, what to even say about No Country for Old Men? Like you said, hardest Best Picture
Yeah, I
choice
mean
ever.
it's
I
yeah.
mean, two
That's if someone's like I like No Country for Old Men more, I'd be like yeah, I totally understand why.
two undisputed masterpieces.
Right.
No Country for Old Men. I say A Serious Man is the best. What was the word I used? The most emblematic of the Coen brothers' entire style. 'Cause it's funny and it's dark, and
Right.
No Country for Old Men is not very funny. It
No,
has
it's not at
very
all.
little, if any, humor in it, which is unusual for a Coen brothers film, but it is so good.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Javier
Javier
Bardem,
Bardem
Josh
won his
Brolin,
Oscar. Josh Brolin, Tommy Lee
Tommy Lee
Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, what a film. Woody Harrelson.
There's just so many scenes in that movie that stick out to me.
Oh yeah,
and I love the ending.
Yes,
where he gets in the car
and he
accident.
breaks his arm.
Yeah, because it's the perfect example of like you're watching this movie and you're like Javier Bardem is like he's like pure evil.
He's unstoppable.
Right, and then they're like, no, he's a human too. I think that's like master.
It is.
Filming.
And like talk about a movie that is still just like so embedded in like culture.
Yeah.
And like I see the meme.
There's like memes
the
all the time
of the coin flip constantly. Like talk about a movie that is just stuck with the culture and for good reason too. I mean, you can see that for There Will Be Blood as well.
Yeah, but I would say honestly, as we talk about it, I understand No Country for Old Men had more significant impact than There Will Be Blood, in my opinion. Perhaps. I might like There Will Be Blood more, but I think No Country for Old Men is it's just neck and neck.
I've been throwing that term around so much, but when we're talking about the top 10 of the 2000s, when we're talking about the top 10 of the or 21st century, excuse me.
Okay, so my number 2 is another film that was not on this list that I think if more people had seen it, it should definitely be on this list. And it's another Japanese film, and it's Love Exposure. Love Exposure is incredible. Love Exposure is so long, so it kind of scares people. Both of they're very long movies, but Love Exposure is like maximalist. Like, yes, it's like so good, and it's like so uniquely Japanese, and it's so funny, and it's just like kind of how we talked about like Jackass and these films are like signs of the times. Love Exposure is like a sign of the times, and it is just it's fantastic. I can't. There's a Letterboxd review. The top Letterboxd review talks about it's like a list of just everything that's included in the movie, and you read it and you're like, what the like? It's great. It's an amalgamation that works, and it's beautiful.
Well put. So my number 1, I think I said this on when we're looking at the top 100 is Mulholland Drive, which is number 2 on the top 100, a spot too high. I would genuinely put my weight behind saying I think that is the best film of the 21st century. Is one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was being harsh on it earlier. I agree. I would definitely be I think it should be in the top 10. I don't know, number 2 is a little high for me. But the only reason I say that is because it's Sunset Boulevard, it's Persona, but it's David Lynch's take on them, so I shouldn't be so harsh because I love David Lynch. And I think it is his best film.
It's so hard to say it's better than like it rises above its parts because it's influenced by some of the greatest films ever. I mean, Persona is like we're not going to say. I don't know if we're going to say it's better.
The title part of this show is a shot from Persona.
Yes, it is. But man, it's so good. I mean, it's just like it's a masterpiece. I mean, Naomi Watts, I think, is one of the greatest performances I've ever seen.
And she was like a nobody.
Nobody. And the scene where she has her acting breakthrough is just like one of the most powerful things in film. And it's like it's real too.
You can't take your eyes off.
That is Naomi Watts as the actress like fighting for her life in that scene. Like so in real life, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like she is fighting for her career in that scene, and it is just it's a masterpiece. What more needs to be said about that?
I agree. So there's already 3 on my honorable mentions that I would include in here, which would be like Mulholland Drive, Old Boy, and No Country for Old Men. But anyways, do you have more to say?
I mean, no, I just I think it's you were arguing that, and maybe we said this on mic too, but you were arguing that it maybe got a post Lynch death.
That's why I said it was number 2.
And I was arguing against.
And I think you're convincing me. Yeah,
I feel like 10 years ago, before Parasite came out, that would have been number one. Way before he died.
I think 10 years ago it would have been.
I feel like it has consistently been on the BBC top 10 Sight and Sound or whatever it is, which is probably I think is a far more accurate list maybe.
All right. Well, the phone turned off while we were filming, so I didn't get to my number 1, but I'll just go ahead and say it right now. My number 1 is Dogville. I'm not saying it should be number 1 on the list, but I do think
number 1 in your heart.
Yeah, well, I do think it deserved to be on the list. It's crazy it wasn't on there at all. Maybe it's because it's not as well known. It's hard to find nowadays, but it's just a uniquely American tale. It's Brechtian. The setup is you're in a studio. There's no real props. It just works. It's a long movie and it's beautiful and it's a good fable. John Hurt is the narrator. Nicole
Oh, I
Kidman,
didn't know that.
lead actress. Oh yeah, it's stacked cast.
I
It's
didn't
really
know that.
good. I can't think of his name. Who's the guy who's in all the? He's married to Jennifer Connelly.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about. He's in all of like the Marvel movies and stuff. He's friends with Johnny Depp. We always tell that joke.
Oh, Paul Bettany.
Paul
Paul
Bettany.
Bettany.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
he's the
really
guy
good.
who was doing
Doing
coke with Johnny
colloquials with
Depp.
Johnny
Yeah,
Depp. Yeah,
the
yeah.
text messages. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good in it too.
Yeah, he's married to Jennifer
Lars von
Connelly.
Trier's best. It's a shame that only Melancholy was on there. I think that should definitely be on there.
Yeah.
So highly recommend it. And then now we'll try and do this before my phone dies again. We're going to do honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try. We've already filmed this once, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit. I'm going to try. Let's just assume each other's top tens are honorable mentions as well.
Yeah, I would say I would replace some of my honorable mentions already.
You know, like some of the things I mentioned, some of the things Nathan mentioned would easily slot in. A big one, I think we both. I completely missed out on my top 10 and would have been in my top 10. And I actually thought about it and forgot to write it down as the piano teacher.
Right, which when we were filming earlier, I mentioned you were like, oh,
yeah. I was like, oh man, I literally said that was going to be in my top 10. I forgot to write it. And Cachet too.
Cachet's good.
That'd be in there. Just some other ones I wrote down. I said Michael Clayton earlier. You know, I'm a huge fan of that film. It's wonderful. Warrior is a good one. The Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton MMA movie. I think that's one of the best sports movies. You know, I've seen within the, and there's a lot of sports movies in the 21st century. You know, to varying qualities. But that's a really good one.
Yeah, I need to see that one.
I love that. You know, I'd also throw in Inland Empire. I said earlier, I'd put it in the top 100.
But it'd be close to 100.
It that much? Yeah. That's debatable, but it's something. It's an interesting artifact, and it's, you know, I think Lynch is too important to not include.
Yeah,
one of his, you know, I'd say kind of one of his more important works, even if it's not one of his most popular. Just some other ones. You know, I thought Dark Knight. I thought that was crazy how high it was on the top 100.
It's crazy.
I figured that would be top 10. The Bond movies,
Casino
Royale or Skyfall, one of those two. I can't believe those weren't on the list. Then Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, we both agreed. Blade Runner 2049 is like that was almost my under the skin.
Yeah.
My honorable mentions, I'll run through quick. Some of these I'd replace already. No Country for Old Men, I would probably fit into where I said The Great Beauty. Mulholland Drive, obviously, I would put it into where I said maybe Tokyo Sonata. Old Boy. I mean, when we had this idea, the first three movies came to my mind were Dogville, Love Exposure, and Old Boy. Like Old Boy is such a fantastic movie. It's sacrilege that it's so far back on the list. It was like 48 or something. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
it really
genuinely.
is.
Like
It makes you realize, like, oh, the New York Times doesn't know what they're talking
But it's even like you're like, how? You know.
Then of course I have Superbad. Superbad is if I was going to put a comedy, I would easily put Superbad. Superbad changed my life. My humor is the way it is because of Superbad. Stylistically really good, funny, good story, amazing soundtrack. Yeah, it's perfect casting.
I'll interject into with you know, I said earlier 2000s is such a wonderful time for comedies. So a lot of comedies I love did not make my list. 40-Year-Old Virgin, probably my favorite besides Jackass of the era. Step Brothers, my favorite.
I like Talladega Nights.
Yeah, but either or Anchorman. Anchorman's on the list, but that's probably my least favorite of the three.
Really?
Of those three, of Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, and Anchorman,
I think it's I understand why it's on
the
there.
most culturally relevant,
significant. Yeah, for sure.
And it's, you know, it was a huge film.
It's great too. It's very funny. Yeah,
but Step Brothers is my favorite of that. And then Superbad obviously is just, you know,
awesome,
so good.
Okay, and then the other two you mentioned, the Piano Teacher I had on here. Poor Things. It's crazy. There's no Yorgos Lanthimos on there.
No Dogtooth.
No Dogtooth. No Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Lobster.
Yeah. The Favorite. Oh, The Favorite is on there. I'm sorry. The Favorite is on there, and that's a great one. I actually love.
I forgot. Yeah,
The Favorite. So the way I said my celebrity crush was Naomi Watts because of Mulholland Drive, I would say Emma Stone because of The Favorite.
Really?
Yes.
Not okay. Yeah.
And then finally,
not Superbad.
No.
Okay.
Her as Jules, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, I would say Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
obviously.
One more I'm going to throw in.
Wait, was Blade Runner 2049 not on there? It had to be on there. It's not on there? That's insane.
I know. No. I don't think there's... The only Villeneuve is...
Arrival.
Which you could
Yeah.
also put. What
Like
about
or
Prisoners?
like Sicario.
Prisoners, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. I love Enemy too.
Yeah, Enemy. Another one I wanted to mention is De Palma's Femme Fatale.
That's
I
right. You did
really,
mention
really
that.
love that film. Like I said earlier, probably his last watchable movie, but it is really good.
Yeah,
Um,
you were telling me about it and
it's
like
like
the
a
opening
heist at
heist, and I
Cannes.
said the
Yeah,
striptease. And,
it's very typical De Palma. It's
yeah,
just
I need to watch it.
sleaze to the
Sleazy.
max. We love Antonio Banderas. He's wonderful.
Very cool. So then finally, if we think we have time on the camera, I would say biggest ones on the list that you want to watch.
Parasite got to be number one. Really due for a rewatch of There
There
Will
Will
Be
Be Blood. You
Blood.
said, yeah.
Yes, I'm not as familiar with it as you are.
I love
I've
it.
seen it so long ago. Really need a rewatch to consider myself familiar with it enough to speak on it.
And then you said The Social Network.
Social Network.
Yeah.
All of the Finchers really on this list, except for I have seen Zodiac, but I haven't seen Gone Girl or Social Network, which are big blind spots for me as well.
Yeah. Social Network's a very important film. I respect that. It's way
yes.
up there. Mine were Yee. I would love to see
Yes.
Yee. I would love to see Amore because I love Haneke. We were talking about Haneke earlier. That's the only Haneke on the list. Zodiac, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
And then Before Sunset.
Michael Clayton.
Michael Clayton.
Too.
I know. I need to
see
see
Michael Clayton.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
so
for
good.
sure.
So
perfect.
I think that about wraps it up, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks
so much. Please comment, your top 10, what you were shocked didn't make it on the list, what you disagree with us on. And we hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're going to keep filming these.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much.